So there's a lot of news coming out of SDCC 2019, San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the reveals, which the majority of it we already sort of knew. But it's really cool seeing stuff in hand. It's really cool seeing the progression of what's going on. And the stuff coming from Hasbro seems to come pretty quick. They show it to us and it starts showing up in stores, 2-3 months down the road, as opposed to in the third-party realm where 3 years later we still don't have it. But let's move into this, starting with this ape face. And this thing looks pretty good. I like the way it looks. And it actually kind of represents all modes. The jet mode is probably the weakest. But hey, this kind of stuff, giving us a little bit more obscure characters, is what we need. And I'm sure we're going to get a remold of this into another character. Here he is from the back. Not as clean as I'd like, but hey, it still looks pretty good. Here's Crosshairs, which is a repaint of the Ironhide. We've known about this, so not talk about it too much. There's another repaint of this mold coming up later on. Here is Spinster, which is pretty cool. I like it. We've already talked about this in the past. We won't talk about it too much more, but it is nice seeing an actual copy of this figure versus renders or anything. And both modes look great. I really think this is going to be a great figure, and it looks awesome. And then just the crazy wild colors. It's going to be a good one. Of course, you see Astro Train, and I know a lot of people don't like the shuttle mode, which you see in the back there. But evidently they got 3 of this made and 3 prototypes ready to go. So you can see all the modes. But it does look like the back's a little weird of the shuttle mode. Would have been nice to have it a little bit cleaner, but I still like it. I think it's great. I don't know about being worth $50. And in this Sunday's news, I have a segment that we're going to discuss this with some news that's coming up that's completely unrelated to SDCC, but it's related in a way. But looking at this guy, I think the bot mode looks really good, and so that's really what matters the most. And then I think second are the other alt modes, and I think they represent well enough. But then again, how tall is he? Is he Voyager? I don't see exactly his height, but I'm guessing he is going to be Voyager. And that's sad. It makes me sad because I would rather have had him, Magnus size at least, which isn't really leader size. But next up, there's this 10-pack of mini bots coming out, and I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not super into these. I haven't picked up any of them in the single packs. But then again, a nice big pack like this might be a good value, like a good enough value to put someone over the edge to buy just the whole pack. And they'd be fun to play with, easy to transform, and they're definitely upgrades from the G1 versions of these guys. Now for the toy version of Reflector that they call Refractor. Is going to come with additional parts and pieces to make it look like the toy more than the one that they released looks like the cartoon. And I think it's a pretty cool mold. I actually have 3 of these, and I just need to take the time to make a video about them because there's so much functionality they put into it, and there's so many options and playability with it. It's just one of those things that it's not going to take on a masterpiece, but it's doing things that your masterpiece will never be able to do. So it's real interesting. It's real weird how that goes, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the set. So a couple of pictures showing it in the camera mode, which I think is where this set shines the most because of the extra pieces that clip onto it, and it's superior to the other 3 if you bought them separately. But looking at them in bot mode, I think they look pretty good in bot mode. The colors are, it's really weird. It's like 2 blue ones and 1 red one. And the chests are all different colors. But if you had this as a toy as a kid, then I'm sure you are thinking, this is a really cool color scheme. So here's a better look at the red guy, and you can see that I like the fact that his shield, it's the same shield that turns into the lens, but it's painted up different, and I like that. I like the paint on that. So I just really think this is a kind of a cool looking color set, and then he's got another, I guess, shield, which is another piece that turns into like a handle and a button. Here's a better look at the center guy, and I'm guessing that these pieces just slide, like they slide to cover his head. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that looks like how it works, which it's a lot similar to the toy. Here they are on their space shuttle mode, which the more I think about that, I'll talk more about it in the review, but I think they just threw this in so that if you just bought one, it could turn into something. Instead of turning into a block, a square block that wasn't really a camera, it turns into something and it uses the parts. Something that's good thinking, but this doesn't really look like a ship. It just looks like, it looks weird. And there's the box. I'm curious how many people would be in on a set like this. So Flame Toys was displaying some figures they've already displayed before, but I really zoned in on this Devastator because I think it just looks really cool. I think we've seen it before, but it wasn't painted. But because I would have remembered seeing this if it was painted, and it is cool. Again, I don't know the price range on these things, and I think these are the ones that are the kits they put together, not just the statues you buy ready to go. But anyway, still really cool. I like the colors are crazy, and it's a different take on Devastator than what I've been seeing. Okay, next, this one, a lot of people have been singing praises about the RatBat, and I have to agree. It looks good. It is the same type of transformation as we get from the G1, and I think he looks pretty interesting. I know that I don't think very many people are impressed with the Masterpiece version, and I'm not sure how big these guys will be. They probably will be the same size as the tape set we've already got, and I bet you this is a set you pay $10 for. If so, pretty impressive little feat that they pulled off there. I am a little disappointed though in Frenzy next to him. Hopefully you can extend those legs. If not, that is really weird. Like, I am really confused if that's actually going to be his legs. Hopefully they made a mistake and you can slide and extend those legs, because that doesn't make any sense if that's it. That would be funny, but not good. They did have a presentation in a panel format, and we are getting, of course, we all knew we would get the Ratchet. In fact, I think he looks good. I think he's probably, I feel like this all the time. I feel like the Ratchet always looks better than the Ironhide. I don't know why. I mean, maybe that's just a hang up I've got. Now, I'm not big into Cyberverse, but I think they're trying to pump that line up and increase the quality and make it look better. I might be wrong, but it does kind of look like they're going to make a Cyberverse Jetfire. And as we've got the great Jetfire for 80, I don't know, this might be 30 or something, and still be pretty massive. So that's kind of cool, and it's sort of animated looking. So that's something to look forward to. So I don't know if you guys remember back a couple weeks ago, they were talking about vote for Nah, Run Amok, Shrapnel, or Needle Nose. Why not make them all, to tell you the truth? Like, I don't see why not make them all. I would say vote 4 times if you want them all. And we voted for Run Amok, which, by the way, has not been made. So, and I'm sure that will give us the Run Amok Runabout. Is that what it is? So you can have 2 different figures based off of the same mold. And we've been talking about that. And it's interesting that we're going to get all this stuff from Hasbro, and we're not getting it from the third party. But I think that maybe we eventually will now. So I got to get more details on this, but it looks like we're going to have some Amazon exclusives here. So that's interesting. I know Amazon exclusives usually are pretty simple to get, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I want to talk about this 3-pack of cassettes, which I'm really into cassettes, so I think this is cool. And this is, I think, a Japanese-only release for those guys. And it's a Garafi, a Noizu, and Frenzy. I hope I'm saying all that right. But these are cool. Like, we never got them here, and they've been quite obscure and hard to find. And so now you can get them, and you can get them packaged like this. I have no idea why they wanted to put it out with a 2-pack and a 1-pack. How they did it, that's interesting. Why didn't they just make the Garafi and Noizu? Why didn't they make that just the exclusive? But it's like $40 for 3 of these, which is far more expensive than I thought they'd be. I was really thinking these things would be like $15 each for a set of 2. So maybe the Walmart exclusives will still hit that $15 price mark, or maybe $12.99 or something. But you can pre-order these at Hasbro Pulse right now, and they are $34.99 at Hasbro Pulse, and it says it should be coming out in September 8th. Next, I want to quickly touch on this Sound Blaster. It's the black repaint of Soundwave, and yes, still covered in all of that weathering, which I'm not a huge fan of the weathering, but anyway, it looks okay. Yes, we're getting a cel-shaded Optimus Prime for part of the 35th anniversary, and this is the Voyager one for the Siege line, and it looks pretty cool. I don't know, it seems like everything's getting cel-shaded these days, and this is the first time I've ever seen cel-shaded stuff in the actual just mainline. I've never really seen a cel-shaded mainline item. But you don't just get a Prime, you also get a Megatron. So if you, like, I haven't actually bought a Prime or a Megatron yet for this, and if I see this, I don't know, I might want to pick one of these up. You can order them right now at Walmart. It's the same price, the $29.99, and it's a pre-order, and I don't see the date that they'll be available, but get your pre-order in if that's something that interests you. Oh, October 3rd. So, lastly, there's more pictures about Unicron. I guess you could say in hand. Lots of discussion about this. No new news yet on Unicron, and I will be doing an update to the Unicron video pretty soon, just because I'll probably be doing several Unicron videos. So the more news that comes out, I'll just put it in that next video. But it does look really cool, and they had 2 of them on display, so there's $1,200 getting displayed right there. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is the back of it. So looking at the back, it is a bit bulkier. He's got a heck of a backpack, but I mean, it's one of those things to make it a sphere. It's kind of hard to turn it into a complete total sphere and everything pack away 100%, but it is a bit bulkier than I would like. But then again, the front side is where I'm going to be looking at it the most, and it's just interesting looking at this and how will it transform and all that great stuff. And planet mode is definitely where it's going to shine. That's where it's going to be the most impressive. Most impressive. So, anyway, I'm curious what you guys think about this SDCC showing. Are you underwhelmed on it simply because there's not a whole lot new? Are you excited that they're staying the course and getting this stuff out? And I'm interested in more details coming, hopefully, pretty soon about this Unicron. I want to hear, are they going to throw an extra figure in or something in? Are they going to throw some minifigs in with it, which would be great? Some extras like they always do with crowdfunding. Are there going to be electronics? Like, subscribe, so Deer Hanger out.